everyone, and welcome to Starting 11 here on the Let's Get Ready Network. I'm Adelia, that's my buddy Snark, and our goal for this week is not to have a 50-minute episode about 5 matches.
That's right. And we're totally going to stick to it. No problem. That's a guarantee.
We shall see.
The guarantee is not legally valid.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't have too much to say about some of these matches this week. They were what they were.
Yeah, today's match, there's things to talk about. There's at least little things to talk about. They're interesting matches. Like the first day, the Saturday games, each had 5 goals.
Yeah, they did.
Two completely different matches.
Very different games.
Yes. Okay, so let's start then. We can start with your little club and their little victory they had, which is very nice for them.
Very much needed. Very needed.
Yeah. Well, it was needed, and for a couple of reasons. Got some guys going, maybe. So 5-0, a win over Palace. Poor old gaffer, Roy Hodgson. Things aren't looking good.
Yeah, the Palace fans were not happy.
So, but, Jordan Ayew, I believe he's playing for Ghana at AFCON. Olise is out. He's looked spectacular. It hasn't translated into wins, I guess, for Michael Olise.
No, it has not.
And it certainly didn't here. Well, let's talk about some of the goals. We'll talk about young Mr. Gabriel and getting Arsenal on the board. A more offensive-minded Gabriel. I guess maybe I'm just thinking that because he hasn't been injured, so he's scoring, but he's really getting high. He's getting some. But it also helps out. He was basically who's his name? Chris Richards' backpack. In that, I was surprised. That stood.
I was too.
Yeah, he's a little.
He's very much pushing up and lifting off Chris Richards there. But bar inconsistencies again.
Yeah. I'll say, and as a Chelsea fan, and no fan of either of these teams, that maybe you guys deserve a break every once in a while. You've had some calls go against you guys this year. You guys can have that one. Also, ultimately, it doesn't matter. Gabriel also involved in the second goal. Mm-hmm. Looks like he should have scored. Goes off of Dean Henderson's head. And hard off of his head. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Good to see Gabriel getting involved. They've just spent the last 12 days or whatever it's been since we played a game. They spent the majority of that in Dubai doing warm weather training, and apparently they worked a lot on set pieces during that. So it paid off.
Yeah. Declan Rice with the first corner in. I believe it was Bukayo Saka that put the second one in.
I think so.
That it got to. And then the third goal, an anniversary. I said happy Misha anniversary because it's been a year since Misha Mudryk has come to Chelsea. A famous day. But I guess it's also been a year, or it was a year this weekend.
On Saturday
where
Leandro Trossard signed.
Finally gets back into the swing of things. Real nice goal. Getting his defender to slide through and putting it in. Talk about your keeper here quick.
Great distribution from David Raya on that.
We'll talk the goal for he had to make up for it because he had another oopsie giving the ball up straight up the pitch. I believe the shot doesn't even hit the net. It's well wide and stuff like that. Ultimately, doesn't come back to haunt them. But yeah, it's a fantastic throw out to Gabby Jesus for the fourth goal, and and a terrific pass inside as well to get to Trossard. Now, somebody we've talked about needing to get onto the right foot is the other Gabriel. All the Gabriels involved.
Yeah, we have 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Martinelli this time getting 2 in extra time. Pretty similar looking goals too. Nice
they were
goals.
very similar, and they very much reminded me of Thierry Henry. The way he just curved the ball around the goalkeeper.
Nice little hook. Hook from the corner inside. Well, is that the thing? Is that the spark he needs? You think, even though they were kind of 2 garbage time goals, you guys were well out ahead and were never in any trouble, really?
Yeah.
Is that something that you think he's going to build on this for sure?
Well, it can only help.
Yeah, it can't help. It can't hurt.
It can't hurt
Getting
it.
2 goals. Yeah, getting two
Yeah.
goals. He's already better than most Manchester United strikers in one
Yes.
game. Yeah. So okay, good news for Arsenal. Of course, bad news for Roy Hodgson. The vultures are circling.
The vultures are circling. Graham Potter was in the stands at this game. I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, I don't see it.
And the Crystal Palace fans holding up banners about how unhappy they are with the way the club is going.
Yeah.
This is apparently the lowest amount of points that they've had through this many games in several years. Like, they're not in the position they were in last year, where it was like, well, they're not really in trouble, even though they fired Patrick Vieira and brought Roy back.
They were in, I believe, was it 12th spot or whatever
12th,
when they did that last year. It doesn't look good. Having some of your best players not available, also not good.
Yeah, Ghana's been eliminated from AFCON, so Ayew should be back soon. I don't know how many more
today.
games.
He played today. I know that. I was watching a bit of that match while the Brighton game was going on. So, Steve Cooper should start looking for houses. I think I'm pretty sure that's where he's going to go.
I would pick Steve Cooper over Graham Potter for sure, but I was like, why is Graham Potter here?
He probably lives there.
It was very weird.
He's in a cardboard box out back. He never made any money off of Chelsea at all. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Too much money. Okay. Well, we'll see how this holds up for Arsenal. Arsenal has a tough test coming up in the next match weeks. An important test for them. We'll talk about that when we do our predictions later. But for now, let's have young Mr. Hambone tell you about our Patreon.
Hey guys, it's Justin, aka Hambone, just here to let you know a couple of things that we have going on with the channel. One, we have a Patreon. If you can and want to support us, you can do that. As little as $1. You can join the Discord. We also have a merch store where you can get some cool shirts, mugs, and stuff with all of our different shows and labels on there. And thank you for all of our supporters that have already been there with us.
That's patreon.com/LGR_network if you're interested in helping support the channel. And while you're here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel? We'd really appreciate it. We're so close to getting over that 850 mark on the entertainment channel. We're so close to getting 130 on the sports channel. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe to both the channels. There are links to the entertainment channel in the description of this episode.
Fantastic. All right. Let's go on to the more, to the casual fan, the more interesting matchup that day. Brentford and Forest. 3-2 Brentford win. Of course, Ivan Toney, the big story, coming back from his 8th-month ban.
Ivan Toney proving why Brentford is not selling him in this window.
They cannot sell him.
Can't.
But it's Forest scoring first, and I made sure I figured out how to pronounce this guy's name. Well, I'm pronouncing it the way they announce it on the thing. And it's weird.
Okay.
But it's Danny Lowe. Danny Lowe scoring from outside the box. Just too casual defending. One guy just kicks it straight up into the air. Like it doesn't, and if anything, it doesn't move forward, it moves backwards. Yeah, just casual defending by Brentford. He takes advantage. And the goal itself, pretty light. If I was Mark Flecken there, I'd be a little ashamed myself that I didn't even attempt moving over. He might, to his, I guess, just to his defense, maybe he was screened in front.
Maybe.
But that ball was not hit very hard and it was not very far away from him. You'd figure that a Premier League goalie should get to that. We've talked about Mark Flecken before. I have never been too convinced by it. Wasn't a miss. Now, what would be the odds that Ivan Toney would get the equalizer?
Pretty high.
I bet you he knows the exact odds, to tell you
Probably.
the exact odds. And he does, but in good old Ivan Toney fashion, not without a little controversy, the free kick given, the magic foam placed, the wall set, and Tony just moves the ball over.
Yeah.
in front of the foam. So nothing there.
Did you hear his quote after the game about
No,
that?
no.
He said, "You can move it a half a yard forward, a half a yard back. It doesn't matter."
I think it matters. I think it
Yeah, I
matters.
think it matters.
Yeah. Forrest weren't, jumping up and down and raising high hell about it, but they wanted an explanation afterwards from the referees to figure out why this is the case or whatever. So if this is the case, if this is precedent, everyone's going to do it.
Yeah, everyone's gonna do it.
They've just made this a rule if they've allowed this to happen. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so 1-1 for them. Let's see what else happens. I'm really just was concerned about the foam and the moving and stuff like that. Now I have to try and remember. Yes, the Ben Mee goal. A really nice kick by Matthias Jensen, finds his head, ties it. And then Forrest ties it up, and again, it's a nice goal. It's Chris Wood scoring his 8th goal of the Chris Wood. 8 goals. He's 32 years old.
That seems like a lot for him.
Seems like a lot for him. Kiwi. I don't know how too many Kiwis in the Premier League scoring 8 goals at a time, but I just wanted to mention it because Callum Hudson-Odoi with a nice pass in for him. I'm still rooting for this kid. It's nice to see that he's, at least not injured. He hasn't been getting very much work lately, but hopefully that'll change. But it's just minutes after that. Now, Brentford gets the winner, but 4 minutes afterwards, and Mads Roerslev gets the ball in to Neil Mopay, and the way he brings it down is nice, but the spin and then the whip on the ball to curl it into the bottom corner was very, very nice.
Yes,
very nice
way. Very nice.
Nice win.
He's been so much better for Brentford than he was at Everton.
I liked him at Everton too. I liked him at Everton.
But he wasn't scoring at Everton.
No, no one was scoring at Everton. I'm shocked that they let him go, but whatever. They're lost Brentford's game, and they needed the gains. They had lost every match since December 2nd. I don't know if it was 8 in a row they dropped, something like that.
They'd lost a lot.
Yeah, I think their last win was against Luton.
Yeah.
In December. In the meantime, they had again lost against Luton and stuff like that. They lost against Sheffield United. They haven't been great. Tony has been much needed. So he's back. Let's see if it can save Brentford's season, because some of these teams on the bottom start gaining some confidence, including Luton. We'll see. We'll see. Now, a team that had plenty of confidence going into this past match week against a team leading the entire league. It was supposed to be a pretty solid matchup for.
It was not.
Bournemouth and Liverpool. It was not. It was not. It was a good first half.
It was.
Yes, there are 2 halves to football.
Yes.
The breakthrough coming not long into the second half with Darwin Nunez scoring. It's a nice pass from Curtis Jones, the one-time pass from Diogo Jota, and then the one-time kind of coolly puts it past the keeper there. 1-0, and then Jota gets his first from Cody Gakpo. Nice shot, just inside the short side of the post or whatever. Real nice one. Jota scores again. 79th minute, he whiffs his first one, and everybody stopped, except it kind of just spun around into a better position for himself. That's how things are going for Liverpool right now, and you can't even blame Anfield.
It was essentially an assist to himself.
Yeah, it was remarkable. It's like when a quarterback passes, it gets deflected and he catches it. I guess it was a nice shot when it finally settled down to him again. He just put a little English on it. Comes back to him. Darwin Nunez getting the last goal on this one. getting the brace. Nice little side footing. That pass in from the side. 4-0. Bournemouth had been on a run. They lose to Spurs. Now they lose to Liverpool. Maybe settling into the spots where they should be. I believe they're in 12th right now, if memory serves. So they're in a good position. For them, they're in a great position. They just couldn't get the ball forward enough.
They are in 12th.
One thing I'll say, Liverpool gets a clean sheet, right? Mm-hmm. Who was missing from the back line? Trent Alexander-Arnold. I was like, oh, maybe.
Yeah, they had some young kid playing right back.
You know who
he did pretty good.
Yeah. You know who came in? I believe just before extra time or something. Somebody by the name of Bobby Clark. I thought, oh, that's a familiar sounding name. Not getting the jersey, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
No way. Now, we're doing great. We're doing great.
We're doing fabulously.
Want to talk about something else for 30 minutes or anything?
No.
Okay, perfect. Well, let's move on to the first draw. Sheffield United 2, West Ham 2, and I really liked this match. I thought it was
a good match.
I thought it was feisty. I thought the final score is legit, but I think Sheffield was a better team overall. I think West Ham was kind of just hanging in there with them. But
yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah,
West Ham has to look at this as 2 points dropped in it though, because they should be beating Sheffield United.
When they're the bottom of the barrel, you should be beating them. Was I a little happy about what happened at the very end? Yes, but only because I don't like West Ham. In fact, I detest them. So, first goal. Let's say congratulations to Maxwell Cornet. He gets his first goal for the Hammers. A deflection off of Vinicius Souza's back, and it just kind of skipped. And another one with the weird bounce that skips over to him. He's wide open on the far side of the net. Puts it in. Good job for him. Sheffield equalizes. Not long after that, William Osula comes in and puts a rocket of a header on, and Areola gets to it, but Ben Burton Diaz comes running out of nowhere and hammers the ball in. First has to settle down a bit. Then hammers the ball in. Not only first goal for Sheffield, but his first Premier League goal. And they kept mentioning, so I'm going to mention it, for the Chilean international. And he had a pretty good game. He had another chance in the second half as well. I thought he looked good.
He did.
Somebody they just picked up. And I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him before, but
I certainly haven't.
Yeah, there's some of these teams, this is where they have to go and make their money, is by being the best scouts in the smaller countries, especially in South America. Yeah, he did great. Now, let's go on to the second half. So that's the next time anything happens. Who's it got? Danny Ings. Real good bit of dribbling. Gets the ball. Dribbles into the box. Nice job by Gustavo Hammer. Steps on his foot.
Yeah.
So he falls down. Yeah, it was a good call. Good call. Penalty made. Now, they give it to James Ward-Prowse. And speaking of guys that need to get things going, I remember at the beginning of the year, he looked so good. I was like, they got him for nothing. And then it's been a long time since we mentioned anything productive from James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
And so they give him the spot kick, and he goes straight down Broadway, right down the middle. Well taken penalty, deserved. Now, let's get to the interesting stuff. In extra time, was it for Sheffield? Ryan Brewster. Ryan Brewster had been on the pitch for just over 10 minutes when he puts his spikes to Emerson.
Yeah.
Now, it was originally a yellow card, and I looked at it, it's like, his feet aren't that far off the ground, but where it catches him, you got to give him a red
You
card
got
for
to
that.
give red.
That's a red card. So VAR had the official come by, took a look at it. Did not take long. He gets sent off. Now, Vladimir Kufal got a yellow card because he was protesting so much, and he was doing it with this weird smile on his face, like an insanity smile. 4 minutes later, he goes and fouls James McAtee, gets a second yellow. So that advantage, everything's so all the stuff happening in extra time. They had originally had 6 minutes. Another 4 minutes later, after the first red card, this happens. There's just time being added.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 8th minute, McAtee crosses into the box. McBurney goes up for it, and Areola decides to go through Ollie McBurney. I guess he saw Nana do it. He thought it was fine. But it turns out the rest have caught up, saying, oh, yeah, you're not allowed to go through a guy who's just going straight up. And the announcer trying to go, oh, I don't know if he was trying to block into Areola. The guy was just going straight up for the ball. He was fine.
Yeah.
And he got punched
I've heard so many people have with the take that McBurney actually fouled Areola in this, and it shouldn't have been a penalty. And I'm like, what are you watching?
One was going straight up. One went through a guy and didn't get the ball. It's pretty simple. This is simple stuff, guys. This is not tough. Yeah. The right call made, but again, because of all the other stuff that happened and how long it took, for VVR to do the checks and stuff like that, making sure everything was good. By the time McBurney steps up and scores,
well, before even that happened, Areola got subbed out for Fabianski.
Oh, sure, yeah, and because he all of a sudden he's hurt or whatever. But of course, I do believe this is a bit of gamemanship. And if it is, I'm all for it. To have Fabianski, who's a fantastic penalty kick goaltender,
yes,
just to put him in there, just to put a little bit of extra thought into your head, is freaking good idea. Doesn't work. McBurney scores. Now, because of all the extra time added, it happened 103 minutes into the game, which is now the longest it's ever taken for a winner in a Premier League game. So there you go.
Yeah.
History made. And I'm sure when Ollie McBurney got to the pitch that day, he thought to himself, today is the day I finally break that record of the longest ever, the latest ever game winner.
It wasn't even.
The longest. Goal. No, yeah, sorry, the longest ever goal, the latest ever goal in a Premier League match. Yes, that isn't like a championship, which doesn't count. Yeah, they don't get extra halves. Okay, so that's it. So a huge, it's disappointing for West Ham, like you said.
It is.
It's not the death of West Ham by any means. No. They're still in a good spot. But Sheffield United needs everything they can get. So huge for them. So congratulations to. I just thought it was so fun. And to see David Moyes, who still has a job, by the way. The look on his face when that foul happens, just the hatred, and also because the announcers kept talking about how dreamy his blue eyes were all match. I thought that was kind of odd. It's like, oh my goodness, this guy really has.
I did not hear that commentary. That's
that's
very odd.
Yeah, kept talking about his piercing blue eyes. It's like,
that's very odd.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, lock up your wife around David Moyes. That's all I have to say. Now, we've already come to the end of the week. Fascinating stuff. We got Brighton. We got the Wolverhampton Wanderers. And it's at the Amex. And as exciting as that sentence was about as exciting as the game. But I guess no. There's some things to this. Now, Brighton had all the ball all the time, and it never felt like they had any chances. They had 4 shots on. I don't know if any of them would be considered troubling at all. Little
Yeah.
dribblers and stuff like that. Things going just right to Jose Sa. Wolverhampton counterattacking very well. Had some great chances. Some just missing. I don't know how Cunha puts it over the net from where he did with the goaltender out of
I don't
position.
know.
It's tough. Pedro Neto, very good game. He has some
Good
chances.
to see him back.
Yes. He really should have scored. He flashed a couple through goal. And then there's that one time or whatever, he comes out on a rush. Goalkeeper comes out. He goes around him, but he goes around him so much he's way out of position. He just ends up kicking the ball out of bounds and stuff like that too. Those are fine. What I want to talk about is what happens. I guess we should talk about a couple of things. First off, in the first half, and Brighton are taking pages out of like United's playbook, and they're just falling. They fall for everything, and they get dramatic about it, and they're getting the whistles, so it's working for them. But Billy Gilmore, there's a play coming out the field. Wolves are counterattacking. Gilmore seems to slow up and elbow Cunha in the face. Beside the ref, no call me. They deem it. VAR looks at it and they deem it incidental contact.
That's insanity.
Is it sanity? This sets Cunha off. He goes a little bit nuts. It sets the benches off. Little Roberto De Zerbi at the other manager's box and stuff like that. And I don't know who the giant they have. I think he works with their goalkeepers for Wolverhampton. Stands twice as tall as him. He's getting mad at him. Like this is like, you can get all Napoleonic as you want, Roberto. You would not last long. This guy was going to put you in a couple of pieces of bread and eat you. You're a sandwich. So the Wolverhampton guy is the guy who gets the yellow card. This De Zerbi was over his box.
Was very confused as to why he got the yellow card in this situation.
Further on in the half, Gilmore drops to the ground again, under no contact this time, and Cunha gets a yellow card. So at the end of the half, Cunha lets them have it. He goes out, his own players. Jose Sa grabs his arm and he slaps him off. Jose Sa, don't do that to him. And you see Jose Sa waiting for him in the dugout there. It's like he's going to give him a piece of his mind here in a second. But yeah, the rest just let him be though. I think they knew. I think they must have known. They must have been something in their ear. Like you guys deserve this. You take it from this guy, because it was awful officiating in the first half. It was the most interesting part, because again, there was not many chances. No. These were two teams that did not look great. As a Chelsea fan, it worked out about as good as it could work out for me.
Yeah.
For me personally, just both of them getting a point. I think if Wolves got to 3 points, do they move ahead of Chelsea? They either move ahead or they draw level with Chelsea, and Brighton would have moved well past. Now, Chelsea's in a position.
Brighton leapfrogged Man United.
Yeah, for getting the point. Yeah, United just ahead of Chelsea with 1 point. 1 point and I believe a goal on differential or something like that. But
Man United's goal differential is -5. So if you guys were level on points, you would be ahead of them, because yours is 4. Right.
What's Brighton at? Is Brighton 5?
Brighton's at 5.
There we go. That was the 1 point. So it was an interesting for all the wrong reasons. It was like watching a car accident, that game, but still better than that 0-0 game from a couple weeks ago. The other thing, I guess we should mention, it was James Milner's 633rd Premier League appearance. He's now past Ryan Giggs, and he's only 20 behind Gareth Barry. James Milner, the guy you think of when you think longevity, I
guess. Yeah. I mean, is Gareth Barry really the guy you think of? You think of longevity?
Well, I guess the only reason I think of is because I know the record. I know that he's the guy who's lasted the longest. I know Frankie Lampard had a bunch of games and stuff too, but Oh well, all right. It's like thinking of the guy like Gordie Howe isn't the guy who owns the most games in the NHL now either. So what are you gonna do? These records are meant to be broken, and they're gonna get broken. These ones by anyone. You just basically have to show up. That's the rule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it for the week. Yeah, I guess we talked about the 70%, like in the 4 shots and stuff like. Ugh, yeah, it's not a very
Yeah,
good match. Not a great week. Now you had a great week. I'm going to tell you that, and you
I
beat the
did.
shit out. You beat the shit out of me when it comes to the predictions. I think you got both draws right, or that you counted and stuff like that. You got 4 points. I got -1 because I picked 2 draws that did not happen. So yeah,
Okay.
not a good week for me. Not a good week at all. It's a shameful week for me. So we usually would talk about at this time of year transfer news, transfer rumors, but there really
Mm-hmm.
isn't anything to talk about yet. There's just
Yeah.
people waiting. People are going to wait till that last minute. Somebody has to make the big move. It's not done. We talked a little bit off air. Is Karim Benzema going to do anything after showing up 17 days late? Saudi Arabia. Nobody wants to be in Saudi Arabia. Jordan Henderson already gone.
Yeah.
They want to keep him. I think they're free to. They're willing to loan him out if you pay his entire salary and stuff like that. And of course, they make so much money over there. I don't know how it's feasibly possible.
Yeah.
But really, there isn't much going on. So our next broadcast will be just after the window closes. And oh my God, it's going to be a week, guys. Because not only do we have that to talk about, and I'll try to keep the matches as short, as compact as possible, uh, barring any kind of news that I may have to talk about with a major transfer decision or something like that. Or, of course, the PGMOL apologizing for this or for that or for whatever they're going to do. VAR
Bound to
sticking it to the
happen.
man again.
There's going to be so many matches. There's bound to be one where there's some massive controversy.
2 match weeks in one next week. There's a lot to go through. So we might as well do our predictions now so I can find out in a couple weeks how much I lose by, which is probably going to happen, guys. Let's face it. Let's face the facts. Now, it starts off with a match you should be interested in. Forest
Okay.
versus Arsenal.
I will take Arsenal.
Even at the City Ground? I'm just kidding.
Even at the City Ground.
Yeah, I'm going to take Arsenal as well. Fulham and Everton, which is an interesting one. This is at
That's
Craven
an interesting
Cottage.
one, yeah. I'll take Fulham because they're at home.
I think I'm going to take. I think I'll take Everton. They just need it so much more. Maybe they'll figure it out. It's not like
Yeah.
it's a daunting place to play, the Cottage. It isn't even really in Fulham if you think about it. Luton taking on Brighton at home.
Brighton.
Could be interesting.
Could be interesting, but
she likes Brighton. I'm gonna go with the Hatters. I'm gonna go Luton. I think this is their shot at it. This is their shot at it because again, they looked not good today at all. No. Palace and Sheffield United again. Who knows?
I might go Sheffield United in that one.
I like your style. I'm gonna say a draw.
Okay.
This is where I start losing probably. Villa and Newcastle. This could be Newcastle. There's so much trouble. So much going on in
Newcastle. I will take Villa at home.
I'm gonna take them as well, but yeah, Miggy Almiron might be sold to Saudi Arabia. Isak might be sold. Guimaraes will be sold. Kieran Trippier had looked like another person that may go to Germany, but they said no, he can't go. It's like this is the guy you're putting your foot down for, Trippier.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Whatever.
I don't understand what Bayern is doing, trying to collect all these Englishmen all of a sudden.
They must have a guy who's really homesick.
They must.
He misses everybody.
Scoring a lot of goals over there.
Poor Harry Kane. Not even his goals can keep him company. All right. We'll file this one under no brainer. Manchester City at home to Burnley.
City.
Yeah. Yep. Ooh. Okay. Spurs and Brentford next at that stinkhole called Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Does Ivan Toney have enough to will the Bees over the Spurs?
Probably not. So I'll take
Yeah.
Spurs.
He doesn't. He won't have enough. Rested Spurs team. We'll see. Trouble for me because Chelsea has to go to Anfield and bad things happen to us there.
Yeah, I will take Liverpool.
I'm taking Chelsea because I don't mind being wrong. But I'd hate to be right and pick wrong, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
West Ham, Bournemouth.
West Ham.
I'm going to go Bournemouth. I think they get it back together at London
Okay.
Stadium. Now, we were talking earlier about Onana. Here's the rematch at the Milnew. Wolves, Man United.
Is Onana even going to be part of that, though?
I don't think so. Well, it
I don't think
depends.
so either.
He could play the day before and then zip up. He's done it before.
He's insane.
Yeah.
Wolves played them so well at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm. Should have at least gotten a draw.
Yeah, I'm going to go Wolves.
I was taking Wolves as well. Because they look good. They just bad luck today. Not getting chances to fall. But they get to play against United's midfield next week. So there's an advantage there. Okay. To what's technically match week 23 we go. Everton at home to Spurs.
Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs should win that one. Brighton at the Amex against Palace.
Take Brighton.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'll take Brighton as well. Burnley and Fulham.
At Burnley.
It's at Burnley. At the Turf Moor.
I might go draw on that one.
Ooh, all right. I was thinking you were going to go outright Burnley.
No.
I am. Because
Okay.
Fulham. Newcastle gets Luton at home.
Newcastle.
They still should have the talent to beat Newcastle. Oh, February 3rd. February 3rd is the date of this match. How different is that team going to look?
It could look very different, but...
yeah, I'm going to go Newcastle as well. They should still have enough, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Their goalkeeping stinks. If they're without Isak, too. Oh, my gosh. Sheffield United has to play Villa at home.
Villa.
Yep. Villa shouldn't have a problem there. Bournemouth and Forest.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, I'm going to take Bournemouth as well. Chelsea gets a chance at redemption at home to the Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Chelsea should win that one.
They goddamn better win that one, I'm telling you. Interesting match. Man U and West Ham.
I might go West Ham.
Old Trafford. West Ham. I think these are the matches that Man United wins. I'm going to say Manchester.
Certainly didn't win it at West Ham. So
No. I'm just taking it at home. Old Trafford's so tricky. Now, the matchup of the week, and technically 2 weeks, Arsenal and Liverpool.
Arsenal.
You're at home.
Mm-hmm.
Huge match. So it could be a season-defining match for you guys.
Apparently no Mo Salah.
Mo Salah could be out for as long as 4 weeks. That'll be an extra 2 weeks maybe from this. He'll be at least 3, so he was definitely missing this one. I like it. But I'm going to say draw. I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of hype, and that's usually when things go sideways. And then Brentford gets to take on City to wrap up the week.
City.
City's just going to win. Yep, me too. Okay, that's it. Now, make sure you get your sleep in because there's just too much football to talk about in a couple weeks.
Yeah, there really is.
Mm-hmm.
20 matches in 1 week. It's a lot.
And I have to worry about, having to beat Middlesbrough midweek in the Carabao Cup. Like, how would you not beat Middlesbrough there? And they had so many injuries. Anyways, that's a whole other thing. We don't have a Carabao Cup program. We're just talking Premier League here. And yeah, we got a week off and then a ton of work.
Yeah,
that's fine.
So we will be back on February 6th for another episode of Starting 11. Mm-hmm. Snark, where can people find you?
You can find me not only on this show, Tuesdays on Let's Get Ready Network, the highlights, but also another show with you, Adelia, every Thursday, the Rewatchers Council. I say every Thursday, but it's the internet. It's like we air them Thursdays, but after that, you can watch them at any point. The Rewatchers Council, our full 144 episode rewatch of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer television program. Excited because the next episode we're doing is the Puppet Show, and these next 4 episodes leading up to the season 1 finale are so good. They're so good, every one of them. So yes, excited about that. And LGRN After Snark will be coming back very soon. We'll figure it out when there was an extended holiday break and then weird things happening in life. But it will be coming back. Danny and I will soon be talking about whatever again. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about something because we have to. So we have to put it in the thumbnails now, I guess.
Yeah. We do have to have thumbnails for that show, so yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can, like Snark said, find us back here. Find me on Rewatchers Council with Ferris. Ferris will be joining us this week, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
I have thoughts on this episode and how much I hate ventriloquist dummies.
Yes.
And Ferris and I also do a show called The Open Table on the Entertainment Channel, 8 p.m. Pacific on Fridays. There's no episode this week because I am having some back surgery things on Friday. But we will be back hopefully next Friday. So whatever day that is, I don't even know what dates anymore.
Nope.
To talk about why we haven't done a show yet in 2024 because a lot of shit has happened.
Yeah, that's right.
We will be back for that. That's on the Entertainment Channel. There's a link to the Entertainment Channel in the description of this episode. Please go over there and subscribe. Like I said, we're nearing 850 on that channel. We want to get closer to 1,000. Getting closer to 130 on this channel. We got smaller goals here at the moment, but we'll get there someday. So please subscribe, like, and share the video, and do all that fun stuff. And we will see you in a couple of weeks. Until then, we're out.